Hi and Assalamualaikum to our respected lecturer, Maiden Norizan binti Muhammad Muzi. My name is Shajin Nazira binti Shahrum from BA 2324D. So, my team members and I would like to present Leave Application System of Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri Malaysia. So, let's start. Company's background. The Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia (IRBM) is one of the main revenue collecting agencies of the Ministry of Finance. IRBM was established in accordance with the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia Act 1995 to give it more autonomy, especially in financial and personnel management, as well as to improve the quality and effectiveness of tax administration. The Department of Inland Revenue Malaysia became a board on 1st March 1996 and is now formally known as IRBM. Now we move to the vision. Their vision is a leading tax administrator that contributes to nation building. Next, objective, the personal. To implement effective, fair, and equitable tax management system. Next, mission. To provide excellent tax services by improving voluntary compliance, implementing an integrated and transparent taxation system, increasing operational effectiveness through innovative processes and information technology, and lastly, enhancing a competent workforce. Next, as what we can see here, this is the organizational chart of the department.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First and foremost, let me explain to you about the office equipment part. As for in the Revenue Board of Malaysia, good equipment is part of the scenery of a busy efficient office. As such, it is a backdrop to the staff members at the heart of action. This company use fax machine for their communication. Most office and home fax machine are to ensure the compatibility of digital machines operating through the public telephone system worldwide. This company also uses telephone for communication. Effective communication is a critical instrument for any business or organization. In order to do the task related the calculation, this company need calculator. Besides, this company also have computer equipment. Let's move to the furnitures and fittings. In this company, ergonomic desk, ergonomic chair, work tables, paper shredder, recycle bins, all are included in the office furnitures category. Besides that, they also have computer software. Computer software is another necessity which belongs to the essential of office furniture, office supplies category. Other than that, the other equipment is heavy machine in order to do the construction things. Next, let me continue with the customer part, which is internal customer and external customer. The employees in this company is the only internal that use the process of manual application leave. This manual application leave is only used by the employees in this company by all department. Other than the employees, the board also is the internal customers in this company. The board is act as the agent of the government and provide service in administering, assessing, collecting and enforcing payment of any income tax. Furthermore, the customer also the important role in order to run the company. The external customer for this company is the taxpayer. Taxpayer as a customer is the most important stakeholders in this company. Now, I'm going to explain about the core process of manual application leave. In this case, it is more focused on manual form of application leave. For any expected absence from work, a manual form must be complete and submit through manual. In order to request approval for leave, they have to fill in the application form first. After that, whenever the form is complete, the leave application form will be reviewed by the head of department, either to support or not support. If the request is not supported by the person, then the leave application form must be denied by the head of department. It will take too much time for this process. When the application leave is approved, the head of department will inform the staff as the evidence to inform the request is approved. Furthermore, the other process that involved is deciding salary and wages that continued by the human resource department. For example, salaries and wages for this company's employees. Lastly, the other process is the purchasing process for the company. They also need to purchase the stationery for the company and the supplier for the company use. For example, they bought petrol for the company's car, paid monthly rent, the stationery, printer or photocopier. That's all from me.
Description of as-is process. The name of the process to be improved is manual leave application. This process is for only using by employees of Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri Malaysia. Too many processes need to be done because they are still using manual leave application. Now we move to the steps, personnel or people involved in the process, the output, and the time or volume. For step 1, fill in the form. The staff must take the leave application form from the administrator. They need to fill in the form correctly. Step 2, application reviewed. Next, the staff have to send the manual leave application form to the administrator. Then the manual application form must be reviewed by the administrator who is in charge for the leave application. He or she will review an application first before the decision will be made by the head of the department, who is Mr. Arif. Step 3, decision. After the staff fill in all the required details through this manual form and submitted the application form, the staff have to wait for decision or feedback. Usually it took 2 days for the feedback. Then Mr. Arif, as the head of the department, will view the application before he will make the decision to approve or deny the staff requested leave application. For step 4, approve. Once the administrator submitted the staff requested leave application, the head of the department will view and check the information. Then he will make a decision by approve or deny the application. If approved, head of department will sign on the application form. Step 5, email notifications. After the head of the department made the decision or giving feedback, the administrator will get the information first. Then the administrator will notify the staff through the staff email, intranet email. The staff will receive it after 2 days they submitted the leave application. The status will appear in the email whether it is approved or denied. Step 6. Send time recorder card. After the status appear in the email, the staff need to pass his or her time recorder card to the administrator.
I am going to continue the presentation about the topic, the current system analysis in the company. Many managers complain about the time and effort needed to handle the employee leave, such as to process the details and to ensure it is compliance with the company policy. An effective leave management system is a method where employee can apply for leave online and the managers can change different type of leave and also to adjust the leave according to the company policy. This process should enable the employer to review their leave and check the history of their leave, also request for a leave, while the manager can review and authorize the request for leave and also monitor the current leave. Although it may seem easy, but there could be several things that could go wrong with it. For LHDN, there are a few current analysis, which is firstly the method used. The method that they are currently using is the manual leave application system, which the employee will need to be present at the office to fill in the leave application form. The leave application are expected to be processed on regular basis, and the method of processing requires the employee to review their history of leave, that is the leave that is used by the employee in a specific time and the leave that is available for the employee to use in the future. The system that LHDN is using will need the employee to fill in their form handwritten on a paper before they could submit it to the head of department. Another point is that the human. We all know that the quality of the service depends on the employee with manual processes, and this has created a responsibility on the management to ensure they receive enough training in order to keep the employee encouraged and ensure them to follow the correct procedure. The system is causing the employee to spend more time on filling in the application form. And for big company like LHDN, it could be such a waste of time. Next is, of course, one thing lead to another. Based from our analysis, we found out that the tool used in the company, such as the paper and the printer, and also stationeries like pen and pencil, are incompetent as the system is prone to error when the employees are filling in the form. They sometimes miss out on the important information and end up with inconsistency of data entry. Last but not least is the material used. We saw that they are still using paper for the manual leave application, which is not quite eco-friendly, which means that it is not good for the environment in the long term. In order to keep track of paper document, find information and to keep the details safe, of course it takes more effort and physical space. If they keep using paper, the paper and the ink, the prices are going to be higher. Also, if they keep using the manual filling procedure, supply bills will also be higher. While the company may think this is meaningless, over time it is a lot of cash that could be used in a better way. Next is I am going to explain about the description of the to-be process. The e-leave application system is a platform that allows the employee to apply for their leave through an online SPR portal. After they access this system, the employee can check their balance of leave, review their leave statement, and they can also cancel their application for leave through this online system. With just a few clicks, the administrator, the person who are in charge of the leave application, can view, monitor and handle the application. For example of the flowchart of the to-be process, firstly, the employee will need to log into the SPR portal and fill in their important details. After the application has been submitted, the head of department will review the leave application and decide whether to accept or deny the leave application. When the application is accepted, the employee will receive an email notification through their email, which is the intranet email. The status will appear in the email whether it is accepted or denied.
Next, I would like to present the benefits of to be processed. So there are some benefits to be processed, such as applying online will make everything easier. For example, in LHDN, which is their employees or staff who wants to apply for leave applications will make their online applications through SPI portal system. The employees or staff can access their SPI portal at any time in office working hours. Applying online can also help to reduce a minor error that made by an applicant, thus he or she can make the changes or correction by editing before make a final submission. Next, secure data management. The employees' data in SPI portal that filled in by the employees is saved and secure and can only be accessed between the user and the head of department, which is Mr. Arif. This is because the employees or staff can only access the SPI portal at any time as long as in office working hours, so there is low risk of leaking of data happen. The online application through SPI portal is contain personal details of employees or staff, leave history, leave balance, and many more. Other than that, save money. Since it is online applications, everyone, especially the employees or staff, is good to use the applications without worrying to pay for the bills or charge in using the application. In addition, the company will less spending money on buying papers for manual form of application, which will also help to save the natural resources and earn as well. This will reduce the unnecessary costs and can more focus on things that is beneficial for the successful of the company. Furthermore, save time. So the employees and staff no need to take a long queue to wait for the other staff to apply for the leave application, since they just can make the application through online. When the staff submit for the leave applications, they will receive an email and need to wait for less than 3 days to be able to know either their status is approved or denied. There are two types of measurements that used to identify on how well the system can be used among employees, which are qualitative and quantitative measurements. These measurements can help the companies to improve their leave application system, which is SPI portal system. First is qualitative measurements that measure on how the level of security and safeness when using the SPI portal. This is because when employees or staff fill in their personal data and information, that will lead to be risky. Fortunately, the risk of leaking data and information of employees and staff in LHDM is low, since they will log into their website with their name and work numbers that is private and confidential. Next is to measure the availability of electricity or electric supply in the working or office area. This is because there might be a problems to the employees or staff who in need to use the SPI portal system if there is no electricity or electric supply in the office. The employees or staff need to wait for the electricity gain back to normal. Second is quantitative measurements that measure on the employees' activities in applying for leave application through SPI portal system. When the employees or staff use SPI portal system, it will show on the screen how much their leave is remained or left. This will help the staff to make a planning for vacation, celebration, or any important events within a year. Other than that, it can also be to measure the number of leave that approved or denied by the head of department, which is Mr. Arif. This will help to monitor and keep track the total number that has been approved or denied in a day, week, and month, so that the total number of employees does not exceed the number allowed. The factors that are critical to the success of the project, the first one is a business focus. In order to make the business a success, it is a must to make a change and add on some innovation by business re-engineering. A success project is involving process, technology, and organization. For example, in LHDN, they make changes to improve their system in leave application from manual to online platform that involves from all parties, which is the workers in LHDN. Second is time. which is to re-engineering the business. Usually, it takes a long time to achieve the success. Therefore, executive must be able to stay stick with the program that they just redesigned to ensure they will achieve the goals of the company. In LHDN, e-leave applications through SPI portal system requires 6 months to develop and to ensure there is no unpleasant thing happens in the future. Third is partnership participation. Business re-engineering requires the efforts and supports by people from all over the organizations. Therefore, a good partnership will contribute in the success of the company that requires flexible and good trained teams. As LHDN concerns towards their employees and staff, their supports are needed to fulfill the successful of using the SPI portal system. The participations for the successful during and after implementing the project is the leader, head of the department, editor, and workers. 4 is visible active leadership. The main reason of all the critical success is when the company has a visible and active leadership. The leader must be able to sacrifice his or her time, efforts, and others to ensure the business re-engineering be able to be in a long-term commitment. For example, in LHDN, the leader or manager came up with this idea from manuals to online platform in applying the leave to make it easier for the staff to apply it through SPI portal system. From the beginning, during implementations, and continue to use it for a long period of time.
Moving on to the problem that the team might face in implementing the improvement system. Firstly, the system cannot be accessed when the system is down at the moment because it will become complex and difficult to handle. So if the staff wants to apply the leave at that time, they will need to have to wait until the system is back to normal again. In the future, the company can provide hard copy leave application form and provide the form when there is an emergency case only. After that, there is repetitive process. For example, in step 2, if the employee wants to apply for a leave, they will have to fill in their information and details. In the future, the company might want to design system that is more efficient, which is the system when the employee wants to apply the leave, their information and details has already stated in the form, so the employee does not have to fill in their details again and again. Moreover, the approval process is slow, which is the employee have to wait for 2 days before their leave application is accepted. For example, in the step 6, the employee will receive their feedback about their leave application in 2 days after they have submitted the request. Maybe in the future, the company will design a system for approval and feedback that can only be shortened to 1 day, so the employee does not have to wait for 2 days for their leave to be accepted. And then after that, the system will become crash. For example, when there are too many people who log into the SPI portal and try to apply for the leave application, the system will become slow and crash, and the employee cannot fill in their details in the online application system. The employee will have to wait for 1 to 2 hours to apply for their leave application again. In the future, the company might want to design the system that is reliability. The system should continue to work correctly, performing the correct function at the desired level of performance even in the face of adversity. Last but not least, the system is problematic because it is not systematic. For example, after the head of the department have approved the leave application, the administrator will notify the staff through the intranet email, which is difficult for the staff because they are not present at the office at the moment. It can be hard for the employees because they cannot know immediately whether their leave application is accepted or denied. In the future, the company might want to design a system that is systematic, which is after the approval, the staff will immediately know whether the application has been approved or denied through the intranet email and through their personal email.